Okay, so Patrick Kane's agent is meeting with Steve Yzerman this week. I'm wondering how much we can read into what happens here. Let's start with this. Is it, Gator, a logical conclusion that Patrick Kane and his agent would not be meeting with Steve Yzerman as any sort of exit interview? This is about, okay, what's next?
Well, from what I understand, I believe they're at the combine. I think there's for the NHL draft. That this is where obviously the general managers, everybody's going to be there, and there are a bunch of agents there as well because they're representing players. So stuff gets done this week, framework of trades or framework for potential free agent signings or whatever. And Patrick Kane's agent is going to be there and apparently made mention that he is planning on meeting with Steve Yzerman. So what it tells me at the very least is that there's interest on Patrick Kane's behalf that he'd like to come back. And I think that's great news because Patrick Kane was offensively an excellent addition to the Red Wings last year. Almost a point a game. He had like 47 points in 50 games or whatever it was. And still is one of the best passers in the NHL. He's phenomenal with his vision. I love watching him play. Does it make sense to bring him back? They're going to have a number of changes to this team because of expiring contracts and having to bring guys up before they lose them because they're running out of options with some of the younger players that are ripening on the tree there at Grand Rapids and overseas. So they're going to bring some guys up for sure in the forwards and also the defensive units. They're going to see some new faces. Doesn't mean they don't have room for a free agent or two. I imagine they're going to go after a free agent or two. We'll see how much money they have left to spend after they re-sign Raymond and Seider. But they'll have some money. Do they have enough for Patrick Kane? Does it make sense for Patrick Kane? David Perron is another one. His agent talked about how he wants to meet with Yzerman this week.
I guess I look at Patrick Kane and I think at 35 years old, is it not logical to conclude that since they are meeting, there has to be openness on both sides to Patrick Kane coming back? Kane coming back to Detroit and the Red Wings willing to bring him back. Yeah. So if we make the logical conclusion that there's mutual interest, certainly money and term will get talked about. He's 35 years old. But let me ask you this. Given where Patrick Kane is in his career, do you think the agent will be looking for assurances that the Red Wings are going to add some gas to the engine? That, hey, this team's going to go for it a little bit more now? That because is he going to want to come back if they're like, well, we're still waiting on players to develop. We have no plans to go after Sam Reinhart or anything like that. I mean, because I'm kind of watching for that.
Well, if you're Patrick Kane or any player, I guess, with this, at his age and this level of his career, whatever, what do you want to do? That's one of the questions Yzerman wants to have answered too, if he doesn't already have the answer. I mean, is Kane looking for another big payday to get a multi-years out of a deal? A 2-year, $10 million deal? Is he trying to get something like that? Or is he just, hey, I'm going to play for the 1 year? Does he want to play in Detroit because of DeBrincat and because of the friendships he's made with the rest of this team? Because he likes playing on a Steve Yzerman team, he likes Derek Lalonde? Is that why he wants to do it? Or is it he thinks that this team has a chance to do something special, make a run, and he wants to be part of that? What does he want? And only he can answer that question. Everybody's different. He's already won multiple Stanley Cups, so to chase the cup again, I'm sure that is certainly appealing because you always want to be a winner. But other things might be appealing too, like, hey, I'm still playing at a really high level, but you know what? I'm happier if I'm playing with people that I like to play with. And that can mean a lot to somebody who's 35 years old, has already won multiple Stanley Cups, and just got reunited with one of his former teammates.
Something to think about. I mean, I'm going to be watching this one closely. I think I would be in favor of right price Patrick Kane coming back. I'm curious as to if there's any other inherent message here if he does indeed sign, which would be, are they committed to building a Stanley Cup contender relatively quickly? Kane's timeline isn't long in his career anymore.
No,
So
but
he doesn't want to be part of a team that's a few years away.
well, again, you don't know what he wants.
No, I don't. I'm speculating, Gator. I don't know, but I'm speculating, and I'm wondering if this means if that could possibly be one of the variables here.
Well, I mean, like I just laid out, I think there's a bunch of variables here. Don't know. I mean, as a Red Wing fan, would I like to have Patrick Kane back at a reasonable price? Yeah. I hope it's coupled with some other additions to this team, because if it's just Patrick Kane and then you're promoting guys from within the organization, that's not going to get it done.
Kind of underwhelming.
It's very underwhelming, you know. But the Reinhardt talk. Oh, wait, my ears just perked up. I'm sorry. What's that? A 50-goal score? Hello. Yeah, something like that. That interests me. You know, the rumors out there that some high end players could be on the move, whether it's Mitch Marner or Brady Tkachuk. Apparently, there's rumors that he could be had from Ottawa. Yeah, hello. I'm listening. I'm listening, and the Red Wings apparently have a bunch of prospects. So if they wanted to make something happen, maybe they could entice one of these teams to give them one of their superstar players, because you can't compete in the league without superstars. And right now the Red Wings have a really good player in Dylan Larkin, and they have some other really good players, maybe a budding star in Lucas Raymond. But right now they don't have the superstar, and I'd love to see them get it.